I lived in Windsor at the time, and I was like, wait, that's that church that I walk by every day. I had no clue it was right across the street from me.
About a third of Purdue's student population struggle with food insecurity. They don't know where their first, their second, or their third meal is coming from. They sacrifice food to compensate in other areas like purchasing textbooks or paying for student housing. Today we have the opportunity to talk to Lauren Hibbler, the ACE Food Pantry Director, located here at the Baptist Student Foundation. Let's go inside and take a look and see how the ACE Food Pantry has an impact on this campus.
My name is Lauren Hibbler. This year I am a senior in food science. And about 2.5 years ago, I started off as a volunteer at the pantry, and now I'm currently the director of the pantry. And so my role as the director is to reach out to other organizations if we plan on having events, to look over everyone on the board to make sure they're doing their task, and to make sure that the pantry is running well and everyone on the board is working together. I also work with food finders a lot, so I reach out to them and make sure that we're getting our items, and if we're running low on items, that we reach out to them and buy certain things.
What is ACE for those on campus who don't know exactly what the ACE Pantry is?
John Bear, he started all of this. He was hoping to find funds and a location to start ACE, and so he reached out to resources on campus, including Mitch Daniels and the CELD office. And so from there, we were able to get a $1,500 grant. And so we bought shelves, and then we bought our first batch of food, I guess. And so we've been growing ever since, and that's how we started.
When did you get involved with ACE? What year was that for you?
I started with ACE my sophomore year. So they had been opened for, I want to say, they opened in the summer, around May. And then I started right in August or September. And so I started off as a volunteer, and I came in every Tuesday for about 1 to 2 hours, and I would just sit at the table and just kind of look at the clients and tell them about ACE and the resources that we provided. And then as a volunteer, I was like, oh, there's so much more we could do with this. Like, we could do more programming and we could reach out more. And so then my junior year, I became the volunteer coordinator. So I was in charge of volunteers and I was on the board. And then now I'm the director, the president, and I kind of make the programs, I make the events, I partner with other organizations just so ACE can become well known and people know about it.
According to InsideHired.com, 15% of food insecure students had experienced some sort of homelessness in the past year.
How did you find out about it? Did you seek it out on your own? Were you walking and saw a flyer? Did they have a call out for it? How did you get involved? Talk a little bit about that.
It came up on my Facebook, and I don't remember why or how, but it was Hunger Action Day, and it was a trending post on Facebook, and it was like ACE Food Pantry, and it showed what they did. And I lived in Windsor at the time, and I was like, wait, that's that church that I walk by every day. I had no clue it was right across the street from me. So I came in one day and I was like, I'm here for ACE Food Pantry, I'm hoping to volunteer. And they told me that they weren't open that day, but to come back on Tuesday. As a food science student, I feel like food is super important. We obviously need it to survive. And then as a food science student who's interested in food insecurity, and I've done research on food insecurity on college campuses, I feel like this really is important, and getting rid of the stigma where, oh, if you come here you're poor, or like you don't have money and you're just not able to provide for yourself. That's not true. It's simply, we're here, you could, I don't know, maybe fall behind on bills and groceries just aren't your priority, where food should be your priority. So I feel like that's the main motto, getting rid of the stigma, but also just providing resources that aren't readily available.
In addition, food insecure students had more trouble with schoolwork. Over half reported that hunger problems caused them not to buy a required textbook, 53% reported missing a class, and 25% reported dropping a class due to food insecurity.
What does the ACE Food Pantry mean to the students? Like, if we were to take this out, how would they be impacted by the pantry?
45 and say 55. So 45 are undergrad, 55 are graduate students. And that's how it's split right now at the moment. So we get a lot of graduate students who, they only get paid twice a month. And so the problem with that is you get paid at the beginning of the month, and then you kind of run out. So they come here a lot, and then also as a graduate student, you don't get paid that much anyway. And then also we get a lot of undergrads who are living off campus for the first time. So you go from having swipes and having all these resources, dining dollars, swipes, I think 13 swipes a week or something, to living off campus, having to pay bills, not really knowing how to balance that. So if you spend all your money doing one thing and then you don't have money for groceries, they just come here. So if you come in and you show your Purdue ID, or if you don't have that, just any form of identification, usually the volunteer at the front desk, they sign you in, they write down your ID number, or they swipe your ID and it goes into our system. And then from there you get 15 points. And so the 15 points go towards any of these items, and every single time you come in you get 15 points. It's not 15 points for the week. So our canned items are 1 point, and then our dry goods, so anything that's packaged or dry material, is 2 points. And then sometimes we get donations of toiletries, so like deodorant or detergent or things like that. Those are 0 points, and then bread is 0 points, and produce. So at the moment we get about 20 to 25 students every Tuesday during the 4-hour period. And on Sundays, we recently started being open on Sundays because we didn't know if being open on 2 days would help. But Sundays from 6 to 8, we probably get about 10 to 15 students on average. After doing research last semester and finding that I want to say it's about 35% of college students are food insecure. And so that just means that either you don't know where your next meal is coming from, or you don't know really what you're going to eat. So food insecurity can be divided up into like accessibility. So are you able to get it? But also, is what you're getting healthy? And then is what you're getting, like, are you able to get it, I guess. So if there's a grocery store, how close is the grocery store? Or are you surrounded by fast food areas? Are you surrounded by like healthy options? And then is what you're eating good for you? So if you're eating chips and candy, that's not really the best, but yeah. And then also, do you have the resources to get those items? And so realizing that 35% of college students don't know where their next meal is coming from, or it's just not healthy or the best, I feel like it's a huge issue. And I feel like that we need to be focusing on that, because to eat, in order to perform as college students, we need to eat, we need to be eating healthy food, and we need to get the proper nourishment. So my goal is for ACE to do more programming and to reach out more to the Purdue community, especially with the way things are going politically and things of that nature. I feel like this is going to be a really important resource. At the moment, students can get involved by reaching out on Facebook or through our email, which is acefoodpantry@gmail.com. From there, we respond to them, we figure out what the need is. So we have some people who are in sororities or fraternities, and they're hoping to do like a project, or there's a big group hoping to volunteer. We have resources for them. But also, if there's an individual student who just wants to volunteer maybe once or twice or get to know ACE, we have opportunities for that. Or if there's a student who's interested in food insecurity and is looking for a leadership position, we are also interested in that.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you talking with us.